Okay, so it is the 4th of July weekend, and this time we camped at Wakonda State Park in Missouri. We are in Grange, Missouri. Um, this trip has been interesting to say the least. It started off kind of rocky, but it turned around pretty well. First of all, I won't have a lot of video footage. You'll see a lot of pictures in here, and some video footage, but my phone ended up getting wet some kind of way, so couldn't record for about a day and a half. But let's rewind to the beginning of this trip. So we were prepping and all that stuff, and somehow we still ended up leaving home late and getting to camp at night and setting up in the dark. So that's never fun. But we got here day one, pulled into camp, went ahead and got our cootie tent set up. Our kids slept in our cootie tent with us that night because it just was too dark to set up both tents. So we just came in, got a good night's rest, woke up, and set up the second tent. As always, I am going to give you a walk around our campsite before we break it all the way down. It is the last day. Like I said, I'm doing things a little backwards today, so forgive me. Um, then on day two, we got up, finished setting up the remainder of our campsite. We cooked breakfast, of course. I don't even have any cooking footage on this video, guys. I'm so sorry, but I promise I'm gonna do better next time. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. So that's where we're at. But anyway, the trip ended up turning out to be beautiful. I do recommend you stay at Wakonda National State Park in LaGrange, Missouri. I'm going to give you my ratings based off the state parks that I visited so far in a separate video, but I think it was pretty nice. They have really great bike trails, hiking trails. They have a nice beach, and the bathrooms, they're clean-ish, doable. But if you camp at state parks, that's hit or miss. So, that's part of the territory. So you just kind of come prepared to be as hygienically, I guess, sound as possible. Um, what did we do while we were here? Let me think. We went to the beach. Me and the girls went to the beach a few days, went down there, swam, had a great time. We made campfire meals. My meals this time was Cowboy Mac, which is like a ground beef, hamburger helper type situation, but homemade. And then we also had baked sweet potatoes one night, dressed those up really well. The kids did s'mores almost every night, of course. We did hamburgers one night and corn on the cob. So the meals were pretty decent. We only made breakfast once here. We ate cereal and fruit the other mornings. We tried to keep it as simple as possible. This go round. We just spent a lot of time in nature this trip. We went on a bunch of bike rides. Yesterday they have a bunch like farms and everything. You can go bike ride, private trails and all that. It's beautiful. Yesterday me and my husband were getting ready to come on our way back from a bike trail and get ready to prepare to go fishing, and his bike blew a tire. So we had to wait during the storm, mind you. It was full on raining. That's why we were coming back anyway, because it was full on storming, raining hard. So we found shelter. They had a shelter at the campsite, and we found shelter, hid up under there, waited out the storm, and then my husband took my bike to go back to our campsite to grab my car and come collect both bikes, and come collect his bike while I waited there. So we didn't get a chance to fish like we wanted to, but it's all good. We'll definitely do that next time. I still plan on coming back. The trip was not a loss at all. Still, despite everything that happened, I enjoyed myself. Don't have any complaints about, what the campsite has to offer. But I will later on give a review on, what I think could have been better and what I think would make this experience better for you guys if you choose to camp out at this here park. But until then, I am going to walk you around my campsite because my husband and my kiddos are breaking down. This is our last day. Normally, I would walk you through our entire experience, but it's been a really different trip. I've fallen off my bike a couple times. My husband blew a tire on his bike while we were hiking. Oldest daughter went on a trail and wandered off, and we had about 3 to 5 minutes where we were like, where's my kid? My 19-year-old, by the way, so don't panic. But yeah, still, where's my kid? but she just wandered off on the wrong trail, and we were able to get her back. Yeah, so it was a freaking trip, to say the least. But anyway, let me walk you around the campsite. So I am sitting inside of our dining tent. This is basically our family hub. Inside this tent right here, we have our meals, we play our games, we dance, listen to music. This is basically the entertainment hub when we're chilling as a family. It's not really zhushed up right now. Next time we go camping, I'll show you the whole setup, but you know. So this tent does come with a rain flap, but we didn't feel the need to have it up. You know, the weather's good. We wanted the sun to shine through on us. We just wanted protection from the insects. And this seats about 15. Yeah, I think it's 15 people, but it's pretty big in here. We picked up our floor cover. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I like it. Like I said, we breaking down camp, so don't judge us, don't judge us. But this is what we looking like. Cootie is completely open. I normally keep the screens down at least, but since we're breaking down camp, it's easier for us to just have everything open because we're in and out so many times. Nobody want to keep zipping and unzipping and come in and out. So this makes it easy for us to just have a nice wide space to work with. We use these totes because when you're camping, you never know when you're going to run into wet weather. So these totes make it easy for us to have our essentials without worrying about if they're going to get wet or damaged, and that's huge. These floor towels, we've started picking them up already. It was rainy, so these floor towels help with not puncturing the bottom of the tarp of the tent, the bottom covering. So we just put that on there, and it's more comfortable when we're walking around. They're kind of dirty right now, but that's only because we've been here for about 5 days and we are breaking down. So I would vacuum this up, and then we have a Swiffer. We just come in and mop it up, and when we're ready to use the tent again, it's ready to go. Not in this video, but in a different video, I'll let you know my tote system, because you see the red tote right there. We use that for all things first aid, all things emergency equipment, and I think everyone should have that. When I first started camping, I didn't do that, but we kind of just built up a list of the things that we knew we needed, like if someone got hurt, or like for instance, there's a few people in my family who have asthma, so we just keep a bunch of emergency supplies in there. This tent right here is already broken down. I wish I could have showed it to you guys where it's still up, but we bike and we have toys, so we keep them in here, keep them safe from the elements, and then it keeps it private, because sometimes, you know, when you're camping in different environments, you don't know. These state parks are open to pretty much anybody. Now you have to pay to stay as a camper, but anyone can come in here, so you just want your things protected the best way you can. Excuse the little mini potty down there, that's just for emergencies. They do have toilets and showers here, but sometimes in the middle of the night when you're in a hurry, it's nice to have that little portable potty close. So we have a separate tent for that, but this time we dual used our bike tent for that because no one goes in there. They're breaking down camp. So, and of course you are familiar with core tent already. I showed you that in the last video. I think I'm gonna do a separate video where I really break down both tents and what's inside of them, how we do our setup, how long it takes us to set up. We always tend to rent a site with electrical hookup because we like to glamp. We get in nature, but we like to be comfortable. So yes, we have all type of things, ice makers and all type of things inside of our campsite, and we are okay with that because that's how we camp. It doesn't have to be how you do it, but that's how we do it. We like to be comfortable. So we have 2 campsites rented out now. We normally do 2 because we bring our girls and we have a lot of equipment. So you don't have to do 2. It's a way you can like go as big or go as small as you want to camping. It's all depending on your level of comfort for you. For my family, we like to be comfortable and we like to play with our toys, so we pack a pretty decent punch when we come camping. And this time we are right here off the mouth of the lake, so it's pretty. I'll take you on a brief walk around the campsite, and then I'm gonna go help my family finish packing up so I won't get any dirty looks. So the campsite is clear. When it was the Independence Day, the 4th of July, none of these spaces were vacant. All of this was very compact, so you could barely see like the campsite, the beauty of the campsite for real, but it was a vibe. Everybody was chilling out here. But now that it's open, you can kind of get a better feel of what this campsite has to offer. I may or may not drive down to the beach and show you guys footage of what that looks like later. That's if we have time after we done packing up camp. But what you see over here is an extra bathroom, and then I can't tell if you can see the playground from back there. There's a playground for the kiddos. They have a volleyball court for those of you guys who like to stay active. This trail is pretty walkable and definitely bike rideable. And if you go down, which I more than likely will show you, there's a shower house with bathrooms. Now I'm gonna be honest, because I have to be. These bathrooms are not my favorite out of my state park experiences. Very buggy, and not the cleanest. So I would suggest, if you do choose to come here, make sure you bring your shower shoes. Make sure that you have all the things to make you comfortable when showering in a public space, because it's just not a luxury bathroom, you know. It is what it is. That's part of camp life. Sometimes you'll come into some really good ones and sometimes you won't. That's something that's fixable. It has nothing to do with the staff here or anything like that. I think it's just a busy place. It may be hard to keep up, but that's something to think about when you are planning to come to this campsite. And you see, they do have RVs. I didn't see any cabins here. For those of you who like to experience the state park, but not the tents or RV camper experience. A lot of state parks do have cabins, but I don't believe they do here. I haven't seen any cabins here. The wildlife here is definitely used to being around people. I haven't seen anything scary, so to speak. In my last video, I know I was talking about Rocky Raccoon, because he kept coming for us. But now we got ducks here and bunnies and turtles. I've seen a family of deer and I said girl, and guys too who may be watching. I ain't never seen a black squirrel in my life, but I seen a black squirrel, and I don't know if that's common or not, but it was not common for me, and I had a ball. So I'll definitely be uploading pictures of the black squirrel because that was so cool to me. Look at my duckies. They've been kind of hanging out with us the whole time they've been here. Just chilling. So yeah, this is where our campsite is at Wakonda National State Park. If I do get back out later, I will definitely upload more footage, but I just don't have a lot of video footage from this trip because a lot of stuff went wrong. From us arriving late to bike crash outs and tire blowouts, extreme heat making everything else extremely more difficult. You know, despite it all, me and my family ended up having an amazing time, and that's the point of all of this. So this is how we bond. Nothing is gonna always go as smoothly as we hope it will be, but at the end of the day, we have family, we have memories. But yeah, Where they finna go? And then the other duckies on the other side, like, we gonna go this way. Way in the water. Way in the water. Duckies way in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Look how quiet and peaceful it is. They all gathered together, lined up, and they're going into the water. I love this. Just ducks doing duck stuff, but it's something about the alignment, you know? It's something about the communication between them. It's something about them all being on the same accord and understanding the assignment. It's something about them coming together and working to move towards the same thing. Duckies way. I just gotta sing what's in my head, y'all. Y'all know I'm silly. They did it so quiet and peacefully. It wasn't a lot of quacking or nothing. I'm such a goofball. It's so hard to take me serious. Babe, this is a good spot to go fishing. You hear me? My husband can't hear me. Bon voyage, duckies.